We scaled one school over 100K months, and then we set a challenge for ourselves to do it 9 more times in 12 months. Just like for reference, this is like the school we have scaled over 100K months through cycling, one of the top communities in the school sports category, just for context. So that you see, this is like all is legit. In the end, daily wins coming in. So you see. And then if we basically look at it audience-wise, we have 21K on Instagram here, and then also what we got essentially close to a little over 100K on YouTube. But we don't get that much traffic from YouTube anymore, so pretty much we only get it from Instagram. And if we look at the business from the bird's eye, we only make like around, let's say, 40K a month from the school itself, and the rest comes from the backend. So we have backend offers here. We essentially have like a upsell coaching offer where we sell actual an elite program, which is like one-on-one coaching. And then on top, what we also got is we have cycling adventures that we offer, which is also going pretty well. So if you look at the business, like 1/3 is from the community itself, 1/3 is from coaching, and 1/3 is from the events. That's the breakdown. And that's the bird's eye. And we have built this exact thing of like the last 2 years. And then we just like thought, okay, let's just like do it again and just like do it more times. And then we just like it's like went into it, and instead of just like overthinking it too much, we just like we're diving into the deep end and just like reaching out to creators, partnering up with them. It's just like essentially launching 10 more in 60 days. And that's what I'm going to work through now. So what have we done? Essentially, we just like have reached out to creators, partnered up with them. I'm going to work through all of them one-on-one. And then what we've done, we just like done a simple webinar launch for all of them for the school. Initially, why have we done that? Because back then, as we launched Bulletproof, we have done this, and then basically what questions we just like replicate the system we had 2 years ago and just like used it here. And it hasn't been going as I expected, to be totally honest. And we could also have been like a little more careful with picking creators. But this is going to be a really insightful video for you, because it has been going good with some, but it also is going not that good with a lot of other creators. So, but initially we had to front load all the work for all of them. And then we also like didn't get a good investment of most of them. And essentially you might ask, okay, what a waste of resources. But yeah, that's actually not what it is, because if you look at it in the long run, if you just like get 1 or 2 winners out of this, like Bulletproof is like pays for all the rest 100 times over. And that's like the strategy we have here. So we partner with people and basically split the revenue essentially. So let's dive in. So first guy we've done is a volleyball university, like stand-up player accelerator. That's how we called it. Car has 122 on Instagram right now. Done a simple webinar launch for him. It has actually been going good because he had a really engaged audience. The only thing we like had to figure out here is because he's selling initially to parents and not to the asset themselves. So we had to make some tweaks. But this has been going pretty good, essentially. And now basically already switched to the trial funnel. Then the next one is Russell, who hasn't got that big audience. So basically he has like essentially 26K on Instagram. And then we also launched him with the webinar. This has been going actually okay, to be honest. So for the audience, it has been going pretty well. So if we just like look at the thing, yeah, we just like sell the annual subscription upfront, like same for Scarf. It's basically same with everyone. So the offer is $595 for the year, because then on the ongoing thing, it's going to be $99 a month or $595 a year. So basically, we just like copy paste the pricing for Bulletproof because we know that works initially. So for him, it also has been going okay. Then next one we've done, Mentally Strong Academy for Val here, and this has been like a total flop. So it's like I've been putting all the work in there, and it's like actually had the webinar and no one joined initially. And it's like also like the biggest insight we have. It's not about followers only. It's basically about okay, how it engages the audience, and we had just haven't done our due diligence because we just like had a good punch with Scott back then, and that has been really crushing. So we just like as I said, have been jumping the deep end, haven't done our engagement metrics, and that's why we had a webinar where like only like a few people showed up. I think like here. I don't want to say anything wrong, but it's like there's been only a few people show up. It's like anything between like 20 to 40, and then you can't really do anything. So essentially, here all the work for the garbage bin, same system and learning. So it's been the same work like for a stand-up player and for Russell here, which has been good returns so far. Yes, then High Performance Club for Achidi, this gentleman here. We did a launch, and actually no one joined the live webinar. Which this was tough. This was like one of the worst, like say, damn. But yeah, this is what it was, and exact same work like for the other ones. And then we really realized, okay, we like loaded like a front-loaded work here that might not turn out that well initially, because we also like then looked at others. Okay, like there's like some patterns with engagement, and I'm also like making this video to be like 100% transparent. because that's also like a big reason why a lot of Skool communities fail in the end. I'm going to make a separate video about that, but it's not only about followers, which also like most people don't have within like launch a Skool. But even if we launch with followers, like, okay, having an audience that actually care initially, which brings us like next guy, you also see like is deactivated. This gentleman, Zach, really great guy as well. It's like we actually gave our everything for everyone, like everyone here. Is a great person. But yeah, also like he initially basically made like he was ours. So it's like no one. We got no one. Like the full blown webinar got no one. There, yeah. Then next one we got is our power queen, which is laundry. So for her actually went okay. So he made a few sales, but basically have done worse than Russell and Carr initially, and also like then what we that were also like while noticing, she had a few really diehard fans, but now there's not much anymore. Like with a bigger engaged audience, where like Carr and Russell are really doing well, and that's where we realized, okay, that's what we're going to focus on for the next graders. Actually, the next one we launched, Oscar. Oscar has actually done really well with his audience, but he's just like been blowing up through a bunch of reels. Done the webinar exact same ditch as our gentleman here. So Russell, and I basically expected it to like even better, but surprise. So like has been no sale. There's like some people in here, but it's like most like 3 and 1 people, but so no sale made from this. This one also like made no sale. And then like we had like 2 other gentlemen who actually like we had Paolo from baseline, and then we also like had Matt. So that's also like a big learning we had because we had like really great experience with Scott, obviously, also with other guys. There are people actually that don't pull through and stuff. So basically, just like basically disappeared right before the webinar, and like same format, just like I didn't know what to do this, and I was like going on with their lives without having doing the stuff. And we also have done the work here for nothing initially. So yeah, we have done 10 launches, but actually we should only have done 8 webinars because these 2 gentlemen disappeared. They're like, no bad blood. It's just like, it's what it is. It's like, that's what it is. So if we look at it, reflection on what has been going on here in the last 60, a lot of learning is made. We now basically just like know who to go for, basically also like human wise, and also at the same time like within the scaling potential. So we're just going to be way more picky. So we just wanted to do this initially, just like to get the data in, and now we know. And second thing we're going to switch away from webinar launch, because what we've seen, this has done really well for Scott, but it's like, again, like one of these things you can like slap one system on that works for someone, which does all the gurus do essentially, on everyone, because then you get what we got here. But we just like have done it ourselves without like selling a course and shit like that. So what we're going to do instead of what we're already doing, because we're moving fast here, so we already got like the next cohort in, or the next coaches. And then we basically switched away from a webinar launch, like with these guys, we switched to a VSR-based launch. So it's like a simpler launch sequence. It's like stories and stuff. And it's like follow retargeting ads. This does exactly close to as well like the webinar thing does for like Russell and Carr. And at the same time, it's way less work on the back end. And to be totally honest, this for like people of the team has been a lot of work. So like if you have done anything in the past, online space, done a webinar, man, like doing one webinar is decent work, but it's like doing 10 in like 60, it's like, it's a lot. Yeah, but we have a team, so it's all chill. So essentially, learning's made, and we were rolling forward full force. And then I just like I would say this is great because we got a great winner here with Carr, and also like this gentleman here from the Sun Club. So I think Russell and Carr will basically hit 100K in the next 12 months. So basically, essentially, if nothing goes wrong, because I just like seeing them, work with them, I was like a lot of potential in the niches and stuff. So yeah, essentially for us it's a huge W, but in the end it's like we have 2 wins and 8 losses. So it's like if you look at it overall, like that's how everything is in business. It's like usually just like you have to figure out further what you do, and then you can go all in on what works, and that's where most people stop, but we won't. So essentially, we have the next cohort of coaches rolling, and in the next video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the webinar launch we have done here for these 10 against the VSR launch we're now going to do for the next 10. And then you're going to get the insights, and you basically have like the perfect framework how to launch a Skool in 2026 essentially. Full, transparent, full all out. Yeah, see you in the next one.